Welcome back right now. The time is 5:55. Are you working on that New Year's resolution to lose weight? Well, if you are, then don't forget about your pets.
We got here this morning to give us a few tips on keeping your pet in shape is Dr. Steve Valeka of Animal Hospital East. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, you are not alone.
No, I'm here with Hazel. She's my 14-year-old dog.
And Hazel's not obese. So what do you do? What do your pet owners need to know?
Well, mainly that diet and exercise are the key to weight loss, just like in people. But you know, we're completely in control of our dog's weight. We control how much comes in, and we also control their amount of exercise. And so it's important to balance those two.
Right. And how fat is too fat for a dog?
There are various kind of like body condition scoring systems, and ideally your dog should have just a slight amount of fat on the ribs. You should be able to feel the ribs pretty easily. Looking down from the top, they should have a nice waist.
Kind of like a human, in essence.
Kind of like a human.
Yeah.
So for all those pet owners out there that their dog doesn't look like that, what is a step when you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, my dog doesn't fit in that category? Where do they start? What do you need to start to do to get on the right track?
First, increase exercise, and the second step is to either feed less, or if your dog's severely overweight, work with your veterinarian to maybe use like a prescription type diet to help them lose weight rather than just cutting back on their normal food. You don't want to deprive them of any nutrients by cutting back too much.
And on those diets, we're talking long term, right?
Yeah, and ideally in a dog, they'd lose about 1 to 2% of their body weight per week. Slightly less in cats, about 0.5 to 1% of their body weight per week if they're on a strictly regimented diet.
Well, talking about the overweight dogs and cats, why are we seeing so many more of them, especially in cats, too? I noticed at the vet's office the other day.
Yeah, well, I think that people feel like a fat cat is a healthy cat. I think there's a perception that there is no such thing as an obese cat. And, you know, a lot of it just has to do with our lifestyle. If we live a sedentary lifestyle, then our pets often do, too.
Julie said that Rhett was big boned. I think that's just what my cat is. It's just big boned.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, though, about their dogs. They try to justify it that way, like
Yeah.
they do their children, and that's not the case, is it?
Generally not, no.
What kind of health concerns are we looking at? I mean, if they get overweight, what other problems could they have from that?
Some of the biggest ones that we see are osteoarthritis, and especially an exacerbation of signs of that. So if your dog's overweight and it's older and it's kind of has a stiff gait and has some joint pain, losing weight is definitely the first option for treatment.
Julie, there you go. Did you hear that?
Oh, she's got sad face.
She does.
Poor Rhett.
And especially, I will say, especially with dachshunds, it's critical to keep them thin because
He was down to an all-time
back
low of 19 pounds.
And now?
He hasn't been back to the vet to get weighed.
Now she's just depriving him of veterinary care, so she doesn't know.
Don't be embarrassed to take your pet to the vet if it's overweight. We'll work with you.
How often do you see that? I mean, you see it every day?
Every day, yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're going to join you again later on this morning for some more tips on how to keep your pet healthy and happy. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It is now 5:52. Are you working on that New Year's resolution to lose weight? Well, don't forget about your pets.
That's right. Here this morning to give us a few more tips on keeping your pet in shape is Dr. Steve Valeka of Animal Hospital East. Thanks again for being with us. Now, you've brought beautiful Hazel with us. Tell us a little bit about her first.
Hazel was a rescue. She's 14 years old, and she was hit by a car when she was a puppy.
Oh.
And so she's a good example of a dog that you want to keep on the thin side to prevent any kind of orthopedic problems, decrease the amount of pressure on her hips. So
It's hard sometimes. I know we both have pets that are perhaps
larger than maybe they should be.
The chunky side.
Right.
We tend to call them fat. But what can you do? You know if your animal's overweight. What can you do?
surprisingly, a lot of people don't realize that their animal's overweight until their vet tells them, and then they're suddenly so surprised. But increasing exercise, decreasing the amount you feed them, make sure that you're not giving them a lot of table scraps, a lot of fatty foods. And if your animal's severely overweight, then definitely work with your vet on a diet plan to help lose weight.
And why is it so important? Where are you going, Hazel?
It's leaving us.
Being overweight can definitely predispose them to heart problems, high blood pressure, just like in people, and then especially orthopedic problems, so arthritis, bad joints. Having extra weight to carry around really exacerbates those sorts of problems.
And you said that a lot of people don't really even realize that their pets might be overweight.
Right.
Tell us again, you were showing us a way to be able to tell
Yeah, you should be able to feel especially your dogs, you should be able to feel their ribs with just kind of minimal fat covering over the ribs. If they don't have long hair, you should be able to see the back ribs, and they should have like a nice waist, a little bit of a hourglass figure to them.
What about treats?
Treats, you know, there are a lot of specific dog treats. There's dog treats that you can get at the vet or at the store that are specifically for dogs. Try to avoid, you know, the cheeseburger and fries. I can't tell you how often I hear about people giving that sort of stuff as treats. So
No cheeseburgers and fries, huh?
yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, Hazel.
Hazel's like, I wouldn't even know what
Hey,
that
but
is.
Hazel is beautiful, healthy, happy, and at the right weight.
Yes, so
That's right.
take care of your pets, and if you have any questions, you can call your local veterinarian to find out if your dog or cat is overweight and what to do to get them in shape.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.